Hey guys, welcome back to Robeson Design. I'm Rebecca Robeson. Today we have another episode of Buried but Not Dead. I want to show you some different aspects of my very own home where I have hung art in different ways. I'm not going to show you how to hammer a nail into the wall. I'm sure there's a guy named Howie on YouTube who can show you how to find a stud in a wall in drywall. I want to show you and I want to teach you the principle of how you make decisions on art placement. Tall vertical space requires tall art. A horizontal space, you would be better off with horizontal art. Lesson number one, ladies, don't let your husband choose the art placement in your home. Invariably, your art will all be hanging way too high. And sir, step away from the tool belt. My available space is essentially a square. So I chose to use 4 pieces of ready-made art. I think I bought these at Linens and Things or Bed Bath & Beyond. It was not an expensive purchase, but I like the placement of the 4. They are equally spaced. This is probably a 2.5-inch space between each of these pieces of art laid out. And then of course we use the sticky tacky stuff on our pieces of art, on the bottoms, on the corners, to keep them from moving. It makes a nice statement, it's simple, and it kind of goes with just about any decor. It doesn't scream out at you with color, it's just very neutral. You'll see here that in this long horizontal space I have available, I have 3 rectangular pieces of art creating a long horizontal piece. Just because you have a horizontal space doesn't mean you have to have horizontal art. You can create horizontal art with multiple pieces. These pieces happen to be from IKEA, and I'm not kidding you, I think they were like less than $5 a piece. So here's another place. You're not going to put original art, most likely, in your laundry room, but you can spend very little money, but use your talent and your expertise and your know-how to make it look amazing, just as I did here in my laundry room. In my own living room, I had a bit of a challenge because I have an 8-foot ceiling at this point, which vaults on up, but where the sofa sits, only 8 feet. The sofa is 8 feet wide. It left me with a long horizontal space available. So I had commissioned this beautiful painting. A girlfriend of mine, Debbie Wood, painted this specifically for me. Keeping in mind my California coastal look, my color scheme, this is the place where you should spend your money. This is where you put your original artwork, because this is the spot that everyone is going to see, and it really sets the tone for the entire room. This is a 6.5-foot wide piece, so it's very, very linear, very horizontal, and it actually gives sort of a modern feel to the room. My sofa sitting below it is 8 feet wide, and quite frankly, I believe that this piece is a signature piece of my home. It's where I spent my money. It is an original piece. Thank you, Debbie Wood. Even in my own California coastal look in my dining room, I have a fireplace, and above the mantle of the fireplace, I have a painting that is not hung on the wall, it is leaning against the wall. You see what I'm saying? This is leaning, not hanging. And sometimes I like that look, sometimes it's appropriate. You just kind of mix it up. You have something leaning, something's hanging, something's floating, something's flying. When things are flying, that's probably not good. You've probably gone over the top. When you enter my home, you walk through the front door and there's a little bit of an entry hall, foyer we call it. It's not exactly a grand entrance, but I make it the best I can. It has a dropped ceiling here, dropped to 7 feet, which made this space that I have, as you can see, horizontal. So I chose to put 2 pieces of art together. I thought black and white photos would be the way to go instead of using colored art. So in my own home, I've broken it up. Black and whites in some places, colored in another. What you don't want to do is you don't want to do a black and white here and a colored here. You need to keep these consistent because you're creating a scene in every location. So if you're doing black and white, stick with black and white. If you're doing color, stick with color. If you've been watching this video, you've learned the concept that horizontal space, horizontal art, vertical space, vertical art. This is your test. Do you see anything wrong with this picture? Other than the fact that it is a certificate, which is in and of itself a problem. Although this is in my office, and a certificate would normally be appropriate. This is actually my husband, so it's not appropriate here. Here's the problem. Vertical space is available. horizontal picture. You don't have enough space on this side or this side, but you got all this space up here and here. It is proportionally incorrect. This, instead of a piece of art, is actually three-dimensional. It is a shelf. We're gonna place it on the wall. Do you see how now this is a vertical piece in a vertical space? You have lots of space on either side. It feels much better. What do you put on top of a shelf? A lot of things, but I prefer to put just a little splash of color, and you'll be surprised how just something as small as that will make you feel good. What do you do when you have the dilemma of extreme height, such as a stairwell? In my case, I purchased a piece of fabric that was already bordered. It was beautiful and had these wonderful little beading on it, which gave it, when the light hits it, it just kind of sparkles. I had stretcher boards made, and this stretched across it. I would say that's probably maybe 5.5, 6 feet tall. I probably should measure it. Hold on. Let me find out. I was able to get a 6.5 foot tall piece of art to hang in my stairwell. A piece of art that size would cost you an awful lot of money. Just the frame alone would be ridiculous. So for $200, I think I did a pretty good job. If you liked what I taught you today on art placement and how to decide which direction to hang your art, well, let me just say, this is just a taste, because here on YouTube, I can't give you all of the information I know on art, but I can at the design sessions, which you can link to in the description box below. How many of you watched my live stream today earlier, where I was live streaming from Google headquarters in New York City with two of my favorite HGTV stars? They are two brothers. One of them is a real estate agent, one's a contractor. They do home renovations. They're amazing. Leave me a comment, tell me what's their name. It starts with a P and ends with a S. Hey, wish us luck. As soon as I get back to San Diego, we're gonna be doing our next install. And of course, we've got great footage to show you on everything that we've been doing this summer. These projects are turning out pretty amazing. So I look forward to showing those to you guys. Okay, listen, remember the drill. If you're not a subscriber, please subscribe, thumbs up, leave a comment, all that good stuff. And remember to share our videos. We love it when you do that. Okay, you guys, I will see you guys next time. Bye-bye.